This is a review of HMS Trafalgar. Please read the skills by yourself because I will only go over the analysis and calculations. For my HMS Lion review and a bunch of resources, check the description. Let's look at the weaker part first, which is campaign, like chapter 15. Compared to Z-52, Trafalgar has similar anti-air damage, is a bit less tanky, and does less damage. Z-52 also has flagship cover and heals allies a little, so in campaign Trafalgar is just a worse Z-52, but still a rainbow ship. Moving on, boss battles like Meta Showdown, Operation Siren Arbiters, and Challenge Mode bosses. Here I have calculated Trafalgar's personal damage against single bosses. The numbers may be too small to read on a mobile screen, but she is balanced across the 3 armor types. Her best gun is a pea shooter like single 113 or single 76. She could have marginally higher anti-light DPS with twin 100 Kai, but that requires taking a plus 13 twin 100 Kai from someone else. Also keep in mind that she needs at least 290 reload stat for single 113, the gold gun, to be significantly better than the blue single 76. With less reload, those 2 fast guns will be about the same, and this is the same case for Z-52. Overall, Trafalgar is at about 70% the boss damage of Z-52, and Plymouth has even better light and medium than Z-52. Also, according to Meebot's EHP chart, Trafalgar is a bit less tanky than those 2. For now, it's not looking so good, but it'll get better when we get to her skills. First of all, Trafalgar applies a 2% AA debuff and a 15% slow to the boss with pretty high uptime depending on the gun she uses. With the fast gun, we can assume the boss has a permanent 15% slow. 2% AA is quite insignificant, so we ignore it for simplicity. Second, and more importantly, she uses Luminous Domain to decrease the boss's evasion rate by 10% for 10 seconds every time the flagship fires a salvo. And the salvo does need to be a gun salvo. That's no problem in a BB fleet, or if you're using a CV fleet with Soyuz Nahimov, or Kearsarge Yorktown 2. Bringing your main fleet's hit rate from 80% up to 90% would be a 12.5% increase in damage for the main fleet. Let's round it down to 12% because Trafalgar's Luminous Domain has a chance to miss the evasion check. On the bright side, it's like an instantaneous bomb, so it should always geometrically splash the boss, but might be unable to tag both bosses when there are 2 bosses. For the Vanguard, the benefit will be much less than 12% due to their higher hit and also the uptime, so maybe about 6%. Let's say we have 3 main fleet ships and 2 Vanguard ships in the fleet. I made up some numbers to estimate the impact of adding the 3rd Vanguard ship. Let's say the main fleet does 1 million damage, and the 2 Vanguard ships do 200,000 damage. Then we see that for filling the final slot, Aurora has the greatest contribution, followed by everyone else being pretty close. The true numbers will vary based on the specific fleet and boss. But keep in mind that Aurora is only usable against DD or CL bosses, Sirius is only usable against DD, CL, or CA bosses, and Plymouth and Trafalgar require a BB-like flagship. Furthermore, there is the issue of the ship's survivability. Plymouth and Z-52 are the tankiest, followed by Trafalgar, then Sirius, then Aurora with pretty bad survivability. So here is the overall bossing rating for Trafalgar. Will she be the best in every fleet against every boss? No. Will she see use as a top pick? Definitely yes. How often will she be part of the best fleet? We can't say because that requires more testing and also predicting what future fleets and bosses are like. Thank you for watching to the end. You're the best.